What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and today we are coming at you with a nice little transfers episode. Pretty excited about it. I hope you guys are too. Hope you guys are doing well after the weekend. Just gonna get my phone set up there, and it should be fun. There's not been a crazy amount of transfer news in the recent days, including Dortmund perspective, but there has been some. It's been the PSV duo, Noni, and of course, Malen, and then of course the news of Sancho as well. So we'll sit down today with you guys. We'll break it down. We'll talk about it. See what you guys think about it. Because I watched a very interesting little video that I would like to share with you guys. Because it gave me a real insight on kind of how really PSV is doing in the progression of these players. So if you actually look up Noni Madueke, and you'll find a video. Try to find where it was. I just listened to it, and it was absolutely fantastic. He sounds like a very confident young kid, very talented, and it just, I don't know, got me excited. So Dortmund are going full Dutch, but let's get into the comments, see how you guys are doing today. Luke Carey says, please, let's get the double duo of PSV, and I'm hoping so as well. I mean, one, obviously, Malen being a striker. He can play on the wings when he needs to. He can play as a striker. He can play in the two-man striker formation, which is why I think he'd be useful, but also a natural winger in young Noni there. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if we are able to get the deals done. Another young English talent. But the difference of this English talent is coming from PSV and not straight from the Premier League, which I think would be a huge bonus. If we lose Sancho, I'd want Malen so badly. Do you agree, Josh? I do agree. I think that they would be two fantastic additions to join Dortmund. I think that it would give them a little bit of versatility of having Malen up front. Noni would be out on the wings. He's a left footer. He would play on the right. I said it wouldn't be a like for like with Sancho because Sancho strips it over to the left. But either way, they're similar type of wingers, and I think that it would be a good look for either team. Lucas says if Sancho leaves, we need Hudson-Odoi, maybe Ousmane Dembele, our Malen. So I don't know if we need Hudson-Odoi. I think Hudson-Odoi would cost a little bit too much. I think that's the beauty of targeting these players from PSV is that we'll probably get a better deal than just going for someone from the Prem. Hudson-Odoi, in my opinion, would cost a little bit too much. I don't think Ousmane Dembele would ever come back. I don't think anyone at the club would really want them to come back. But I do want Malen. I do want Malen. And Malen's been a player who's been on my radar for a long time now. I'm hoping to see him potentially come to this club. Hi, Josh. Good morning, my man. How you doing today? Dortmund going full Dutch. Sort of. Now, Noni is English. He is English.
Noni Madueke.
Noni Madueke. Noni Madueke. Making sure I can pronounce his name right. Noni Madueke. I listened to a very interesting video on him today. Noni Madueke. Okay, we got it down. There was a video that's on YouTube that I highly recommend you guys might want to listen to. It's very interesting. Gives him a perspective of kind of growing up through the youth academy in England, making that jump over to PSV. He did it for obviously minutes. He said that Jadon Sancho was an inspiration to him. Saw how Sancho made the jump abroad, got a lot of minutes, got a lot of looks. And that's what Madueke wants to do. And he seems like a very confident kid, which I liked. I haven't been completely sold that he would be the answer to Dortmund, to the wing position. But considering the type of personality I saw from that little video, I highly recommend you guys checking it out. It was very interesting. But he made me feel a little more confident because I thought he came off incredibly well. Madueke, he seems like a talented young winger. He said he started as a 10, ended up moving over to the wings. He's clearly going for experience. I think Dortmund would be a good little look for him. A Premier League don't deserve Sancho. The international team disrespected him. They did. I was pretty vocal about it on Twitter. Pretty disgusted by the fact that, I mean, he's not starting against some of the likes of Sterling and Foden, and no disrespect to those players, but Jadon Sancho, in my opinion, should be starting on that England squad. Well, he didn't even make the bench the first game. Was on the bench, barely played. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It is disrespectful, but from what I'm reading, it seems like Dortmund put their take it or leave it offer kind of getting slapped in the face from United. United clearly hasn't learned of the way to approach Dortmund. They keep going for these low ball type answers, low ball type questions. And Dortmund pretty much just said, listen, this is our price tag. You know exactly how we do business considering what happened last summer. If you want them, come get them. If you don't, piss off. Pretty much as easy as that. Hope you're good. I am good, my man. It's Monday morning. Well, at least here in, that's Monday. It's 11 o'clock here in Canada. Hopefully, wherever you guys are watching from, you guys are doing well. I hope Sancho changes his nation to Germany. Well, I don't think he can, I don't think he's eligible for that, but. Morning, Josh. Member on the channel, Matty D. How you doing, my friend? Bro, Malen isn't that good on the wing. He's not that good on the wing. I wouldn't say he's not that good. I agree he's a better striker than he would be on the wing, which is why Madueke is a perfect double swoop. If we went in there, because in my opinion, I feel like if Malen comes to Dortmund, he'll be playing out of position a little bit for the season, playing on the wing. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But down the line, when Haaland eventually moves on, Malen can take over and become that natural striker, which is why I think that they are going in on Malen. I also read a report that it said it didn't matter if Sancho stayed or left. They were going for Malen. So I do think Malen's going to be a long-term option for us when it comes to the striker position. But getting Malen and Madueke in the same window from the same club, I think it would be perfect because, again, they offer something different. Madueke is more of a natural winger. He's got a very good left foot. He's got speed. He's a more of a like-for-like type replacement for Sancho. And then you have that extra experience in Malen who can play in the wing when needed. He can play up front. It's going to be very interesting to see what system Marco Rosa goes for, but adding these two players give them so much versatility. Because I agree. When I was thinking of Malen, because I'm such a big fan of him, I was genuinely nervous when it came to Malen and seeing if he could actually handle playing on the wing for an entirety of a season. But Madueke would give that little extra oomph that we need. Mr. Carlson is here. Says, hello, my friend. How you doing, my man? Dumfries has a release clause on 15 mil. I would love Dumfries. I mean, why not? Let's just scoop up all the PSV players. But when it came to Dumfries, I honestly believe, guys, that Thomas Meunier will become our starting right back. I mean, we're going to be doing a watch-along today on Belgium. I'm very keen to see how he's doing. I have a feeling Witzel's going to start again. But seeing the way that he's been playing for the Belgium side, Dortmund aren't going to go out and spend that money on another right back when we have three in our ranks and now a potential informed Thomas Meunier coming under a new manager. So, I mean, Dumfries, 15 million is a steal. Someone's gonna grab him for that price tag. How are you, bro? I'm doing good. Hopefully, you guys are doing good as well. I know Madueke is English. I was referring to the Dutch as the... Okay, good man. I wasn't sure. I honestly didn't know too much about Madueke before I doing a little bit of research. So, I mean, could have fooled me. He's 19 years old. I thought maybe he was Dutch, but no. Like I said, I watched a very interesting video that I think that you guys should check out. Just look up Noni Madueke on YouTube, and then there's a little profile about him. And it was a beautiful interview. I really enjoyed it. Some of the reasons I thought Madueke might not be like that replacement for Sancho for me is the age was young. I mean, I don't know what kind of experience he has, but he comes off very confident for a young kid. Very confident. I think that's very important when we're going to be targeting something like that. He said he knows exactly what he wanted to do. He turned down the likes of Manchester United and some other the big clubs, left Tottenham to go to PSV. He wanted to develop. He wanted to have a chance to go right in the first team, and he did exactly that, which he seems very confident about his game. He like I said, Jadon Sancho was an inspiration to him. So I think it's very, very cool to see the way that this thing is going to go. And I think given that interview, he's completely changed my perspective on how Madueke is, and I think he could cut it for our squad. Some good messages coming in here. Good morning, guys. Good morning, my man. Hello. Should we replace Meunier with Dumfries? I mean, in an ideal world, yes. I would take Dumfries in a heartbeat. I think Dumfries would be him and Makuu would be the perfect right back signings for Dortmund. But like I said, I have a strong feeling that we will not be signing any right back. I mean, like, you can argue it all day long because there's a lot of options out there at right back that I would take any day because Dumfries is showing for a while now he's good enough to make that move to a top 9 squad. Or sorry, a top 5 league. Unfortunately, again, I just don't see them doing it. I think that they're going to give Meunier another shot. They have young Murray there. They still have Paslak. Those are 3 right backs. There's no need to really go out and spend. And I don't know. I am torn. But unfortunately, like I said, I think there's going to be 2, if not 3 more signings. Malen for sure, in my opinion. probably center back, could be St. Just. And now if we're going to get someone like, for example, Madueke, we could maybe shift out Brandt, for example. But I don't see a right back, not yet. You deserve more subscribers. Well, I appreciate that, my friend. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel and you would like to, it is always appreciated. And also drop a like, guys, if you are just joining us today. Steve is here. Steve, how you doing? Southgate got world-class Pete. Yeah. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of Southgate. Josh, what do you think of David Neres? I think he's a talented winger as well. Him, Anthony, Madueke could be three wingers. We could look to go for a like-for-like replacement for Jadon Sancho. I would have no problem with him coming. I think, again, the Dutch League is one of my favorite leagues to go look for, to find talent, because I think there's so much there. I'm very curious to see what Dortmund's going to spend in terms of replacement. If they get the 90 mil and their add-ons for Sancho, if they do decide to sell Brandt, I still don't think they're going to spend any more than potentially 30 mil on a player. I don't. I think that's about what Malen will cost. I'm not sure what Madueke would cost. My guess is about 25. David Neres, Anthony, a couple other talented wingers, probably around the same, that 25-ish mark. But he's a tricky winger. I think he would fit Dortmund well. High energy type of player. Haven't seen any links to him though. Southgate. We need Gozens. And this is the interesting thing, because a lot of people have been reaching out to me after Gozens' incredible performances for Germany. I like Gozens. I'm not saying whatsoever I don't like Gozens. I like exactly what he did. But if you look at our squad and the way that we're going to be going forward, Gozens is a very similar type of player to Guerrero. We have one of the best fullbacks in the world. He is Guerrero's best position is a left wing back. Now we may play a left wing back under Marco Rose, but more than likely we'll be playing with the back four. And the other left back we have is Schultz, who again may be shifted out. But if Schultz gets shifted out and we get some money for him, we need to invest it in a natural left back. Gozens is way too attacking for my liking. He's no different than Guerrero. Guerrero, in my opinion, gets forced to play a little more conservative as a left back. He still obviously has his runs forward and is incredibly gifted when it comes to the offense. But when the time comes and we need a more of a defensive look or a different shape, Schultz isn't the answer. So we shift Schultz out, who's a left wing back. I don't think we should replace him with Gozens, who, again, is a left wing back. I think that we need a more defensive outlet. We need a good, solid, young left back who can come in when needed. And yes, Gozens is a Schalke fan, so, I don't know how that works. But I have a strong feeling that we will not be targeting Gozens, nor should we, for the reasons I just kind of capitalized on. I hope Brandt stays. He's a pretty good player, so underrated. He has technique, one of the best. I like him as a mini Royce and could be a future captain. Luka, I do like Brandt. I do. I don't think it's best for him or really the club for him to stay. That's just my opinion. He is going to get a chance under Marco Rose. He may stay for the season. He may get shifted before the deadline. Big issue with Brandt for me is, again, if you're looking at our current options right now, and if we play a 4-2-3-1, it's the 10. It's exactly the number 10 position that Brandt would probably want to play. I have not seen Brandt have a strong game if he didn't play as an 8 or a 10. He absolutely cannot play on the wings. He cannot play as a false 9. That's not his game. That's not fair to him. So then you look at that center attacking mid position. You have Royce and Gio there. Royce, you're not starting over Royce, and arguably Brandt, you're not starting over Gio. He is the potential future heir to Marco Royce, and I just think Brandt's time is pretty much come and gone. But I know that a lot of you guys are big fans of Brandt, and depending on the type of shape, if we do go with a diamond, a 4-1-2-1-2, you could shift Brandt in there, but that would then kick out Bellingham or Dahoud, who I think are much better as that number 8 box-to-box midfields than Brandt. I don't think that's exactly what he'd do. I think Brandt's best position is in a 4-2-3-1 as the 10. That is where you're going to find him at his best, and unfortunately, that's just too much competition in our squad for him. Dan is here. Yo, Josh in chat. How you doing, my man? White's back. Steve says, yes, Luca. Matt AD says hi to Dan. Schalke loves Dortmund. They called us our fathers, so you never know. Dan says, hi, Matt AD. We've got a friendly chat going on today, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Fonte or Akanji, who's better? It's a weird question. I mean, Jose Fonte has honestly done some incredible things. I mean, right now, in my opinion, Akanji is better. Akanji's much younger. Fonte had a very interesting career. It was very cool. I mean, he was in China not even that long ago. Came back to Lille, won the Liga. He's won the European Championship. But I mean, I think Akanji is a better player. But Fonte has done some incredible things and a very interesting career. Malen is going to stay 2 years and switch to Barca or Madrid and go for money. There's no guarantee that that could happen, guys. There's no guarantee that Malen could shift that quickly. We don't know exactly how Malen will do at Dortmund. We hope that he does well. We don't know if he's that's the type of player that Barca or Madrid or any of those teams would even look for. So, I mean, I wouldn't be nervous about him coming and then looking to move on right away. But Man United will bottle the transfer. Yeah, you never know. I mean, if Sancho doesn't leave, more than likely Malen won't be coming in. Change your opinion on Isaac, Josh, since the last time. I don't remember what your opinion was, but on my opinion on Isaac is that he's a good player, but he will never come back to Dortmund, and I still stand by that. I don't think that. I think from the reports I read, Dortmund are gonna get some money from Sociedad to get rid of his release clause. So Isaac is gonna stay at Sociedad, will not come back. I never questioned his potential and his talent. I just didn't think that he would make the jump back to Dortmund because things didn't work out there the first time, and I look correct in assuming that. Why is England not using Sancho, our boy Josh? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell. I voiced my opinion a few times. The only thing I can think is that he doesn't play in the Premier League. It's as easy as that. I mean, it's a Premier League tax. You guys are very familiar with it, being fans of the Bundesliga. There's no reason someone like Jadon Sancho shouldn't be starting. He's in 10 times better form than Foden and Sterling. He's an incredibly gifted player. He's been with the English squad for a while. He's literally got as hot as you could want Jadon Sancho towards the end of the season, and you're taking out a red-hot Jadon Sancho for an awful in form Raheem Sterling, and look what's happening. They're not creating chances, they're not scoring goals, and they're drawing against Scotland. So I don't have any sympathy for them. I have sympathy for my boy Jadon, and it's unfortunate, and again, it's probably putting a bit of a toll on his mind. I mean, it's not an unrealistic thing that Sancho's being like, okay, if I was playing the Premier League right now, I'd be in that starting 11, which is completely unfair, but that is my only reasoning as to why Southgate is not playing him. Riley says, hey Josh, how you doing, my man? We should not give up the buyback clause. It sounds like we are. The reports I have is that Sociedad's going to give us an arranged chunk of money. The buyback clause will be no more, and he will stay at Sociedad. And maybe even sold after that. I'm not 100% sure. Finally, could come to a stream again. Attaboy, Riley. Welcome, my man. Let me know what you think about the two, I guess, transfer rumors that are going around. I'm very curious to see if they do. Opinion on Lacroix. I think Lacroix is a fantastic center back. I thought that he was going to be one that we were going to target. I think we're going to get priced out. I think he's going to end up at Leipzig. Leipzig obviously got rid of Upamecano and Konate, and Lacroix just seems like a perfect replacement for Jesse Marsch's men. So I have a very strong feeling that he's going to go to Leipzig. Unfortunately, I think he's just a bit out of our budget, and that's why we'll probably end up with a center back like St. Just. Isaac, yes, former Dortmund striker of ours will be staying at Sociedad, and we will be getting a little bit of money from them to buy out our buyback clause. Meunier has been great for Belgium. We have Murray and Paslak, like you said. If we should focus on the defense, it should be young center back replacements for Sancho and company. I absolutely agree with you, 100%. It's why, I mean, I'm not gonna defend Meunier's performances last season. He was very, very poor. Right back with a clear need for strengthening, but given the fact that, again, there's no reason to suggest that Meunier couldn't have a bounce-back season, especially after picking up incredible form for Belgium. And then, again, Murray was coming out, and Paslak. There's a lot of depth. If we didn't re-sign Paslak, I could have debated it, because you could have then maybe flipped Meunier on a loan deal, bring someone in, but it seems to me that we've clearly made a decision of what we're going to do, and it seems like the right-back position is going to be stayed, but I do believe we will sign a center-back. Sancho going to Liverpool rather than United. How cool would that be? We have a great connection with them as well. I mean, yeah, if I could pick, I would probably say go to Liverpool over United. But honestly, man, as long as he's not going to Bayern, it doesn't bother me that much. I hear someday Isaac would not come back. Yeah, those are the reports I'm hearing as well. Dortmund are going to get a chunk of money from Sociedad as an arrangement to get rid of the buyback clause. So then he's going to probably stay at Sociedad, and he may get flipped. I'm not 100% sure. What do you think about moving Guerrero to a winger role and buy a defensive left back? Considering Sancho leaves, he could be a great replacement. It's an interesting fact. Because if you guys remember back when you're playing in the 4-2-3-1 under Favre, Guerrero has had a good chunk of spree playing up on that left-hand side. I think it's too big of a risk, in my opinion. I think especially with the links that are coming to some attacking players, I think Guerrero could shine a little further up the pitch, But I don't know, man. I think that it's pretty cool seeing where he is. He brings a completely different attitude. I hope Meunier can take a little bit more of a defensive role because it allows Guerrero to go up the pitch and not have to worry about backtracking. Meunier can always slide over and go into a kind of a back three type of deal when we're on the defense. But I mean, it is an okay look, and it is, like I said, it's something that he's done before. He has played up as the left attacking mid in a 4-2-3-1. He can do it, but I think that we should stick with him. I do think we should sign more of a defensive left back regardless, and hopefully flip Schultz, and then have a young talented left back there who can learn from Guerrero, learn from Hummels, and grow. And then Guerrero can always be an option for us on the wing, but he hasn't played it in a long time, and I wouldn't rely on him for the majority of the season when we can go out and find someone like a Malen, for example, or whoever we may target. Josh, just want to say you're the most knowledgeable football person I'm subscribed to with soon with 100K subs. Well, I appreciate that, Matty D. Means a lot. Hope you guys enjoy the streams and enjoy the channel. If you do, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're slowly getting there. We're slowly getting up there. 100K subs is quite a bit, but it takes time. Isn't like Gozens similar to Guerrero? Why do we need Gozens? I love Gozens though. Yep, absolutely agree. Yeah, I don't think that Gozens is the answer for us, and I don't think that he'll come, just given the fact that he's a very similar type of player to Guerrero. Yes, Josh, or Gozens as left wing. But again, the issue for me of putting someone like Gozens and Guerrero up to a winger is that we haven't seen him do it over the majority of his season. I wouldn't be overly comfortable or reliant on the fact that I want to put Guerrero out of his natural position, put him up the pitch a little bit more. It could go well, but it also could not go well. There's no real answer behind it. But I'd feel more comfortable just securing up the left back, shift Schultz out, keep Guerrero what Guerrero does best, and then go for a winger, a young, exciting winger. I'd probably prefer that a little bit more, and I think that's more than likely what we'll do. Hi Josh, what do you think about Kamara? Again, I haven't done my due diligence. I'm sorry, I haven't done my due diligence yet. I know he's a player that we've been linked with or potentially will be signing. I haven't seen too much of him. I know young Koulibaly, who we signed from PSG, is more than likely going to play in our U23s. Good, solid, strong, left-footed center back. I heard some good things just from quick articles about Kamara. He's very good on the ball, good passer. A lot of energy, good pressing game. It's about as much as I can add, but it seems like he's a good young talent. Can't put it past Dortmund to find young talent like that, and I'm sure that he'll come good one day. What happened to the St. Just transfer? I haven't heard anything of the St. Just transfer in weeks, so a little nerve-wracking. I'd like to see us get linked to a Whoop. Okay, we're still alive. My bad. Sorry about that, guys. We're back. I hit the back button. I thought I ended the stream. That would have been a disaster. But yes, about St. Just, unfortunately, I haven't heard anything about the center back. There could be the potential that we decide to go all in on Zagadou. I think that maybe if he stays healthy, he could be our guy going forward. We do have young Koulibaly in there. Collins, obviously, is someone who's going to be potentially brought up. So, I mean, I've been calling for a center back for a while now, and maybe it doesn't happen. I don't know. Malen on the right and Bailey on the left is a great addition. I did hear a rumor today about Dortmund looking at Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey has always been kind of like circling around a little bit when it came to Dortmund. I mean, very, very natural winger, very quick, very good. He's also very good at long shots, free kicks. He's got a little bit of that flair in him as well. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It could easily be Leon Bailey. We'll have to see. Dortmund are good at developing American and English talent. Hopefully, Maloney turns out to be a beast. Maloney is one. Every time someone asks me who's a player I'm excited about from the U23s, besides Knauf, I mean, we know what Tigges can do, Rashel as well. I like to take a look at Maloney. Again, talented, young, left-sided center back. He is American. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I believe he was at Union Berlin before he came to Dortmund, but did very well this year in the back three. The Eredivisie, I think we need to look at Liga. Many talents in the championship side, like Lille. Bruno, yeah, we have been linked with Bruno Guimaraes, and I don't know about Jason Donyell. Jason Donyell would be a good look as well. Talented, he broke into the Belgium side this year. We have a good Belgium connection when it comes to this Dortmund squad. Liga is another good. It's the league of talents is what the nickname of it. And by talents, I mean young talents. And Jonathan David's also there, so you know. A kid arguing with me on Insta says that Davies is better than Rafa. He's probably a Canadian kid. Again, awkward one for me because I am Canadian. I do think very highly of Alphonso Davies. He's my one Bayern guy that gotta love. But I mean, both very different type of left backs. Very different. One relies on pure speed. One's very technically gifted and good at working the ball up the pitch. But Benno Gittins, he's a next breakthrough $1 million talent. Not really. Steve, I'm not gonna lie to you. Gonna have to do some research on that one as well. And yeah, I guess a couple of you guys are talking about him. I haven't heard much about him. His name has been very, very quiet in the last little bit. I want Eder Militao. If we're going to play 3 defenders, he's the man. Zagadou, Hummels, Militao. I think Akanji is not the man. I'm a fan of Militao. I don't think he'd ever be an option for us, though. I don't think that we will be playing in a back 3 anyways. I think we'll be playing in a back 4. If we do play in a back 3, more than likely Akanji, Hummels, and Zagadou would be the back 3. Now, I think Akanji's a better player than Zagadou is. And arguably, Akanji's a better player right now than Militao is. Zagadou, for me, is the one with a lot of question marks, whether he can stay healthy for the majority of the season or not. We'll have to wait and see, though. Premier League fans are the most closed-minded fans sometimes. They call League One and the Bundesliga Farmers League when they don't realize those leagues are more competitive than the Premier League. Yeah, the word Farmers League is just a pet peeve of mine. I don't know. You can't. In my opinion, none of the top 5 leagues in the world can be a Farmers League. That's just, for me, that's how it is. I don't like that term. Every league contributes in some type of way. But whatever. Non-Farmers League, I guess United losing to Villarreal, whatever. Anyways, looks like Lucien Favre is going to Crystal Palace. It's a bit of a step down, but next season we must give Knauf a decent amount of game time. I think that he'd be world class. I don't know if he'll make it into the Germany U23 squad. Yeah, I think Knauf and Collins will be 2 that will be having a good chunk of minutes with the main squad. Knauf did some good things this year. He's a natural winger. He's got that passion. He's got that ability. So I mean, I agree. That's why I'm curious to see who we are going to bring in, because we do have some young talent to bring up, but only time will tell. Jordan Hunt says, I hope we sign a center back this summer. With Hummels playing for Germany, he'll have very fatigued for the start of the season. It's a good point, Jordan. I was hoping that we were going to sign a center back as well. They've been quiet of late. I mean, the St. Juice rumor is really the only center back rumor I was really touching on, and it's vanished. I haven't heard a center back rumor in a while. We've been seeing the Noni ones. We've been seeing the Malen ones. I've seen Liam Bailey a couple times as well, but nothing really about the center backs. And I have seen the Guendouzi one. I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of Guendouzi as well. I heard he has attitude problems, and I don't think it's a position we need strengthening. I also heard he was very close to signing for Marseille, so I am fairly confident that him nor Locatelli will be coming to Dortmund. So, Knauf is better as a right back. I definitely disagree with that. I mean, if anything, he was playing a right wing back, but it's a different style of play with the U23s than it was for the main squad. I don't think Knauf would be trusted in a defensive aspect. I think that he's a true winger. I think that he's got his speed, he's got his technical ability, and I think that that's where he would like to play up and down the pitch. Akanji plays a really nice Euros at the moment. He does, my man. He does. I think that he'll be keen for us next year as well to have another good season. Akanji just keeps getting better and better. Hopefully we'll get a stronger rating on FIFA than, 78, but I digress. What do you think about Rashel? Does he have a chance in our team? I think potentially. For a couple of reasons. Depending on what happens with our CDMs and CMs, it's a position we got a lot of depth. I mean, Bellingham and Dahoud, in my opinion, are two players that are almost very undroppable. You have Emre Can. We know how Emre Can is. We have Delaney, we have Witsel. That's 5. That's a good chunk of players with young Toby coming up as well. It's going to be very interesting to see if he does be able to break in. If Delaney ends up moving on, there's some potential there, but just because of the depth, I think it's very hard for him to be able to come in and get a ton of minutes. But I do think that we'll be able to see him, maybe Collins, Knauf as well coming up. Probably not. If we sign Malen, probably not so much Tigges anymore. There's been rumors linking Tigges to the Bundesliga too, but there's a chance. I want Koulibaly in the first team next season. He'll be on the bubble, especially if we don't sign someone. We have Kanji, we have Hummels, there's young Collins, there's young Koulibaly, and then there's Zagadou. So there are some options right there. In my opinion, we need 4 healthy center backs. Zagadou's again comes with me. It's a question mark of whether he can do it over the season or not. We wouldn't go a year without talking our players. Is Guendouzi good enough for Borussia Dortmund? In my opinion, no. I'm not a big fan of Guendouzi. I think that there is a lot of skill there. I think it's a bit of an attitude problem. It's struggled with him. It's the reason hasn't worked out a couple of other clubs. I thought he had a good season with Hertha, but I mean, if I were him, and I hope he goes to Marseille. I think that'd be a good spot for him to kind of start fresh. I personally don't want him on our team. You guys are killing it with the comments, though. I appreciate it. Drop a like, guys, if you're new around here, and subscribe. What's your opinion on Makuu? Will he step up next season, or will it take more time? In my opinion, it's going to take more time. I think that it's going to take more time because we have Haaland up front. If we sign Malen, I mean, I would start Malen before I would start Makuu in games where Haaland can't be there. I think it's going to be very hard for him to get the minutes that he needs. I think that it's tough. I mean, obviously he's an incredible talent. He's already scored and broken records in the Bundesliga. But for me, he's still a little bit too young to be trusted week in, week out. I think that we need to find a way to develop him in the proper way where he's getting those minutes instead of just sitting there on the bench. But like I said, if I'm being completely honest, in games where we need a striker that isn't Haaland, and we do sign Malen, that's who I would be playing there. But if not, if we don't sign a Malen, then Makuu could have a good opportunity. We enjoy the streams and everything you put out. Appreciate it, Steve. Means a lot, my man. Ancelotti is targeting Guerrero, so if he leaves, Gozens would be absolute priority. That's a fair statement. I'm fairly confident that Ancelotti will not get his wish with Guerrero. I think Guerrero's going to stay at Dortmund. I think he loves Dortmund. I think he wants to be here. And I think 60 million, which is the rumored price tag, is a little bit too high for left back, considering that they already have Mendy. They still have Marcelo. I don't see it. I think it was just one of those type of rumors, but it is fair. Actually, Haaland departing our club for 180 euros would be a great deal, considering his release clause will be 66. So, guys, again, there's absolutely no proof that his release clause is 66, 75, 100, or is even there. There's been so many twisted reports about it, so it's so hard to say that when we don't even know what's there. Yes, if the release clause is there and it is 75 mil, we could potentially get 180. But there's a few different things to dissect. One, what club out there is willing to drop 180 million on Haaland, knowing that potentially he's available for 75 next year? If he is available for 75 at all, or if he's available at 100, we don't know. We don't know if someone's actually willing to spend that type of money in general, or if they're going to take the risk and see what happens next year if that release clause is developed, if it's discovered, they figure out exactly what it is. So it's very hard to make that debate. I think the last thing that this club should do is sell Haaland. I think that you cannot replace those type of goals, that hunger, that drive. I would be gutted if Haaland left. I love Jadon Sancho, but I know one of the two is going to leave. So in my opinion, that one has to be Sancho this summer, and we keep Haaland for as long as we can, because scoring goals like that is not easy. We saw what happened when we brought in someone like Immobile for a season. We were in dead last place at one point, not scoring goals. Immobile only has 3. It's not easy to replace someone with the type of talent Haaland is, and he's just getting better and better. I'm so excited to watch him next season, and I don't care if it's 180 right now. I want to keep him because I think that he gives us the best opportunity to compete for the Bundesliga next season. Could Alexander Isak return to Borussia Dortmund? No, he cannot. We've just reports of I'm reading is that we're gonna get some money from Sociedad to end the buyback clause, so he will not be returning to Dortmund. I don't get why we should buy Noni. He's an English player and is probably leaving at 1 or 2 years. I mean, I'm debating. Like I said, I listened to a video on him today, right before this stream, to give me kind of a perspective, because I agree. I looked at his English nationality and it just immediately turned me off. Now, he's a player who spoke very confidently about his own game. He said that he left Tottenham, he rejected United, he went to PSV to get game time, to grow as a player. He felt like he needed to play minutes at his age, which was smart. He also said Jadon Sancho was an idol to him, seeing what he's done in his development that led him to the English squad, that led him to putting up the numbers he's putting up in Dortmund, and that's something that he wanted to do. But it also sounds like when he was talking about it, it could be perspected as I'm doing this so I can get here, which means I'm doing this PSV move to maybe get to Dortmund, to maybe eventually take on United when I'm ready. So I don't disagree with you in terms of the fact that he may leave Dortmund relatively soon, but I do think he's got an incredible attitude. I think that he's still 19. He could potentially stay for 3, 4, 5 years. But I know that English nationality, especially maybe him sitting back right now and seeing what it did to Sancho. Doesn't matter what he did in the Bundesliga. Apparently, it's not the Prem, so it doesn't count. It's absolutely ridiculous. So there is a strike against that, and that leaves Leon Bailey right there as another big option as well. He will not be returning to us. Josh, do you dislike Kimmich, who scored both winning goals against us? Kimmich is not my favorite player. He's one of those players where you either love him on your team or you hate him. I think that's pretty fair. I think he's an excellent player. There's no denying that. It's just he's that Bayern leader. He's that Bayern player. He's someone who pisses me off every time we play against him. So is Kimmich my favorite player? No. But do I respect him and think he's a baller? Yeah. I hate the term Farmers League. Me too, my man. I think a center back, right back, and goalkeeper has to be priority. You were almost spot on. I mean, we signed Kobel. He's our keeper. It's addressed. I do think we need a center back. But again, I think it's be very curious to see if we're looking to promote Koulibaly, Collins, or Zagadou, because that might change our mind a little bit. But I do think that we will sign a center back. In my opinion, we will not sign a right back. We're going to bank on Meunier and Murray for next season. But then I think a priority signing is a winger / Malen. Malen's the one exception to the fact that I think he can play the wing for a season and he's an option for the striker position. But then someone like Liam Bailey, I don't know who it's going to be. There's a lot of rumors coming in each and every day. It's not so much Farmers League. It's just a different culture, non-Premier League sides, give young players more of an opportunity to showcase. Very true. Have you seen the new BVB Cup kit leaks? They look amazing. I have not, guys. If you guys want to send me it, whoever it has, you see my socials right there. Go to me on Twitter or go to me on Instagram. Send me the leak. I haven't seen it yet. Would love to see it. But I thought it was a Puma kit, if that's the one I'm thinking of. But I thought there was a lot of complaints about it, so I'm not 100% sure. BVB 2 better than Bayern. Gotta agree with that. Selling Haaland just to use the money for most unnecessary replacements is done. Most of the players in the positions are considered in either the Euros last season. Yeah, I agree. I do think that the last thing we need to do is sell Haaland. I don't think that we would replace him adequately. I think that it would just be a lot of money that we have come in, and not a lot of it would be probably spent out. I don't think that if we got 180 mil for Haaland, his replacement will cost 30 mil. I can promise you that. So what's the point? What's the point? Because we're not going to spend the entirety of the Haaland money. So keep him as long as you possibly can and use him next season to compete for the title. Because of more opportunities for young guys, the rich Premier League teams see them overhype the young guys as solutions and chill out, since the idea of other leagues are farmers' leagues. It's well said, my man. Jadon finally going to leave our rubbish club. We never win anything by Jadon. Well, it's weird. We did win. We won the Pokal. Qualified the Champions League. Went to the quarters, but it was a gentleman's agreement. This has always kind of been in the cards, so, you know. I just realized we could have had a reverse the Klassiker if Bayern didn't get relegated. There you go. The Dortmund and BVB, or by the Bayern and Dortmund 2 sides would have been interesting, but I'm glad that they got relegated because I think it's better for our development when we're in a league like that. Got Red Devil here, says please give us Sancho. More than likely you will get him. Your club will have to ship up some money. We need to find 2 first-team quality center backs this season at least. Well, I'm assuming maybe you mean on top of Akanji and Hummels, because we have Akanji, we have Hummels. They'll be our starters. We won't be spending a ton of money. That's why I thought someone like St. Juice would have been useful to come in. We do have Zagadou there. We do have Collins. We do have Koulibaly. We do have options there. It's just I do think that maybe for some depth and keep some of the young guys playing in our 3rd division, which is a much better league that they'll be in this year. Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't think we're definitely won't sign 2 center backs. I think that there's a chance we'll sign 1 and see what happens with Zagadou. Sancho will be sold. I am believing so as well. Thoughts on Makuu as a backup striker? It's hard. I mean, if we get Malen, then he won't be. He'll be third. He'll almost probably be third string. But yeah, for next season, if we don't go out and sign Malen, then he's going to be our backup striker. I think that it's a good little look. It keeps him prioritized on the game. It keeps him involved. It's a tough one for him. I just think with Haaland in front of him, his progression is going to decline a little bit. Yes, Davies, Bayern. I like it. That's fine. So many Premier League expect Dortmund to give up their players. We aren't a charity. We're better than your team. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting debate. I mean, United have the money to do it. They're playing hardball, and Dortmund just aren't having it. And they've given the this is it. Take it or leave it. Quit dicking around. This is the price. Do you want Sancho or not? Because if not, I'm not doing this whole thing with you guys like we did last year. And that's kind of the way it looks. So I think United will probably say, all right, screw it. Let's just do it. And we'll probably sign Sancho. But Dortmund are not budging whatsoever. I don't think Rafa can make a bigger step in his career. I think that he'd be finished with Dortmund and he'll go back to Portugal or France. Yeah, I don't think he's going to move to Madrid. I just think he's going to cost a little bit too much. Makes it so much better, Steve. That every Premier League team sees us as a development academy. Well, we can develop their players better than they can. Not too big of a club. We are. It is. It's annoying, man. It's annoying. I think that Kimmich is world class. He is, man. He's one of the, if not the best number 6s in world football, which is funny because he's playing as a wing back for the national side, but almost always Swiss. Oh yeah, I forgot about Kobel. Scratch it. We need a winger. There you are, my man. He has the energy. He's defensively one special, but Kimmich wears the false shirt. It's a business, so they will sell him and buy someone cheaper for profits. What about Kane? Dortmund absolutely will not buy Harry Kane, if that's what you're asking. And Harry Kane, in my opinion, won't come to Dortmund. He'll cost way too much money. I don't think that's where he wants to go in his career. If we sold, for example, if we sold Sancho for the 90, we'll replace him with a 30 million player. And then we'll use that money a little bit elsewhere. We sell Haaland for 160, for example. Guess what? We'll spend 30 on a replacement. Like, it's the way that Dortmund do business. It's just the facts. That's why I could care less what we end up selling him for in the long run. I want to use him as much as we can. I personally would rather lose him for 75 and next season than sell him for 160 this season. Because like I said, we're not going to spend the money we get for Haaland. So for me, I'm keeping him as long as I can because he's world-class talent. We need him next year if we want any chance of competing for the title. Because if we pluck Haaland out and Sancho, we're not winning anything next year. That is as simple as it can be. I think even Sancho moving on, keeping Haaland, recruiting properly, having some growth with some young players, there's a big opportunity that we can compete, especially if Bayern slip up under Nagelsmann. Yeah, Kane is way too expensive. Farmers League, not one English manager won the Premier League. It's also very true. Wish it was Koulibaly. The other Koulibaly, yes. Again, someone who's probably going to be not stuck, but he's going to be stuck at Napoli for a while. I think he missed his opportunity to move on. He's approaching 30, and I just don't think people are going to spend that much money that Napoli evaluate him at. So unfortunately for him, he's stuck at Napoli, but I like Napoli, so, he'll become a bit of a club legend, I guess. I like how Dortmund has become bigger most recruited choice than Manchester United. Examples being Chan, Haaland, and Bellingham. Well, the example as well from Noni is that he left Tottenham. He said he rejected United on the way out. He went to PSV. He said, I looked at someone like Jadon Sancho and seeing what they did when they left England and the numbers he's putting up, the consistency, the praise that Sancho has developed since coming to the Bundesliga. And he said that's why he didn't want to go to United. He said, I wouldn't get the opportunity, so he wants to move on. He wants to see what he could do. He chose PSV, and guess what? He's starting week in, week out. Exactly. It was a very interesting video. I think you guys should give it a watch if you haven't. I'm going to actually go look it up for you guys. Because it is worth a watch. It just hearing him and how he talks is it's just a quick 5-minute clip. I'm going to just put the link in the chat for you guys. Give it a look. I love the way that this kid talks. There you guys go in the chat. I love the way that this kid talks. He talks very confidently. He's very down to earth. He knows his game. He speaks as someone who's very confident, which sometimes at a young age, you don't get it right away. But I think to be successful in general, you need to have that bit of confidence, that bit of, you know what, I know I can do this. And listening to him speak about himself and his career path has been incredible. And it makes me a little bit more inclined to maybe give him a chance, because you guys know I'm not overly confident anymore of signing young English players. I just don't think that they'll stay for the long period. Will we make a profit off of them? Absolutely. But I want someone like Malen. I know that his agent, this, that, and the other thing, but I do think there's a good opportunity that Malen could be with us for 4 or 5 years. But again, his agent may make that difficult. They're exciting. Malen will leave quick. That's what a lot of people think. That I'm not overly convinced that Malen, unless Malen explodes with like 25, 30 goals in his first season. I mean, I do think that Malen I just think Malen's a natural fit. He's 22 years old, but I mean, there is always a chance that he could go off and move on. But I just don't know. I have a feeling that this is where Malen wants to be, and that he could be here for a few years. But I mean, only time can really tell. I don't want these English players anymore. They're pissing me off, going to the big Champions League club and the Premier League mid-table club just for money. I agree, but it's interesting with Noni coming from PSV. It's a little bit different. He recognized that he's not ready to go to a big Premier League side yet. He made the move to PSV. It was worked out for him. Now he's being linked to Dortmund, but I do agree the potential is always there. Unfortunately, to leave in a couple seasons. I like Napoli. I thought for a second you were talking about Sampoli, but you put spaghetti, and I laughed. He's the unfinished product. Going for him would be a bad move, in my opinion. He is a bit of an unfinished product, but again, the reason I don't mind going for him is because we'd be signing him alongside Malen. If we signed just him to replace Sancho, I do agree it's a bit of a risk. But if we have him and Malen is someone who I think is close to becoming a finished product at his age, at his skill. I think he's versatile. He can be used on the wing. He can be used up front. But then bringing in the duo, it gives you the real option to have a natural winger. And I wouldn't be against it. But also someone like Liam Bailey, arguably for the same amount of money, who probably won't ever make that move to the Premier League, could be with Dortmund long term, might make a little bit more sense. Thanks for the link. Not a problem, guys. You can check it out. It's a good little story. And I think that some of you guys would find it interesting, especially if we do end up signing him. Maybe scouting some smaller leagues like Denmark, Belgium, Croatia would be good into diving the bargain bin and pulling off some limited edition baseball cards. It's tough, because I do agree. I think the Belgium league's a very good one as well. I can't remember off the top of my head a lot of young talent coming from the Danish league that has turned into an incredible talent. The Belgium league do have some gems in it. I don't think that there's a better place, in my opinion, to look than the Dutch league. And I'm excited that we're looking at a few of them right now. But yeah, you never know. There's always a gem somewhere hidden in one of those smaller leagues. I think the point of buying talent is to turn them into a finished product. The same was true for Sancho, Reina, Murray, and more. We need to condition them into tactics from the start. It's well said. It's something that our club has always done, but we haven't, like I said, we haven't been able to keep on to a lot of our talents, which is good, and which is why I think that Holland will probably stay. Never count on a long run from a Granola player, Josh. Those are the 3 laws of nature. Yeah, and I said I never count on the fact. I have a feeling that Malen could be with us for a few years, but my feeling doesn't mean anything. It's my gut feeling that he could be useful for us for 3, 4, 5 years, but I could also be very wrong. Would you also love to see England versus Germany in the final 8? That would be a good one. I would. We have 2 watch-alongs lined up. We have a watch-along for the Belgium game today. Need to take an eye on our Dortmund boys, and then we need to have the Germany game against Hungary lined up. And then after that, the watch-alongs will probably just be the knockouts of the German squad. Maybe Belgium, depending on if you guys are looking for that because of our Dortmund players. But yes, I think England versus Germany in the quarters would be quite the contest. Well, to be fair to Dortmund, a team that likes to finish them. It's fair. He plays as a right winger. He's a left-footed player. He likes cutting in on his left. I watched a little highlight video of him again before here. He's got very good with the ball at his feet. Good on cutting onto that left-hand side. He's, like I said, he started as a number 10 and moved out to the wing for the ability to take players on 1v1, which is something that he says he really enjoys doing. He's brilliant, finished product. He's not bound to be a world beater, but does start to develop. We need him now before anyone else starts to notice. I agree with the fact that I think if he came in with Malen, it would be a beautiful piece of business. Like I said, he is that natural winger. We need depth in the wings position anyways. Malen isn't really a winger. Malen would offer a little bit, especially if we go in a 2-striker formation. He can play in the wings when needed. He can play when Haaland's not available. And then we have his old teammate who is a natural winger and can be that kind of Sancho replacement. And he's already took his game to another level at PSV. Imagine what he could do on Dortmund. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. He scores lots of goals in the minutes he played. He did. Go check him out, guys, on Transfermarkt. Go look him up on YouTube. He like I said, he didn't. I saw his nationality, and it was the number one reason I said, you know what, no, I'm not interested. But after listening to him in the video that I linked to you guys, I don't know. I have a feeling that he is a good little look. He could be with us for a few years. Talented player. We'll have to see though. He's a lot taller than I thought. He's like Sancho. Imagine Sancho with or less the Haaland type physique. Yeah, he is a very tall winger. He like I said, the thing that impressed me looking at his highlight videos is how good he is with the ball at his feet. He's very good. He constantly looks to take on players 1v1. He's naturally, like a lot of good wingers out there, kind of similar to Mahrez with that left foot. All he wants to do is cut inside, get it on that left-hand foot. He's a good finisher as well. Like I said, he speaks of his game very highly, and it's the reason that we're being linked with him. And I think if we do sell Sancho and we are able to replace him with the PSV duo, I think that's a good piece of business, and it gives us a lot of versatility and gives Marco Roses a lot of options with some of the talent, as well as add some desperate wing depth, as well as the versatility of Malen when it comes to simply replacing Haaland if he's not available. Because Haaland will not play every game. Usually it's very rare for a striker to be able to play all 34 games in the Bundesliga season, given suspensions, maybe a knock here and there. And now you have someone like Malen to come in who will do a job. Instead of, like I said, over the years, I've said it so many times. How many times have Götze, Hazard, or Brandt had to play as a false 9 for us when we desperately needed a backup striker, which we never had? Imagine playing in a team where Favre is your coach and Southgate is your assistant. It'll be a tough team. I'm so hyped for next season with Marco Rosa. Is Eden Terzic staying with us? As far as I know from the reports I read, Eden Terzic will stay. He will be second fiddle to Marco Rosa. We'll go back to what he did beforehand, and hopefully it'll be a good little duo there. And there's no reason to think that it won't. But I'm excited for next season. I think Marco Rose is going to hit the ground running. I think he's going to be refreshed after the poor end to his season with Gladbach. He's going to have some talent coming in, and he's going to have a lot to work with. And I'm excited to see what him and Terzic can come up with. Gio Reyna, a lock starter for you? Definitely not. I don't think that, especially if we go out and sign some wingers, I don't think Gio's going to be a starter. My opinion, we'll play in a 4-2-3-1. You'll see Kobel in net, Meunier at right back, Akanji Hummels, 2 center backs, Guerrero left back. More than likely, I mean, Dahoud and Bellingham, again, I do think we need more of a defensive presence. So whether your two defensive midfielders is Dahoud and Bellingham, maybe it's Dahoud and Witsel if he finds his form, / Delaney / Chan. Those are who be the defensive midfielders are. I think that Hazard will start as the right or left attacking mid. I think whoever signing we have in, whether it's Malen, maybe we do go for Bailey, whatever winger we bring in will be on the other winger. Royce will be our cam, Haaland will be up front. I don't think Gio is a starter at all. But I think that there's a good opportunity that he can break in and get some minutes. But for me, he needs to play as a 10. And with Royce there, and also Brandt is going to make it hard, which is why I think Brandt should potentially move on. And Gio will get his opportunities when they come. Still young, very talented. We will have to see. Bro, please pin. Can I pin? All right, let me go back up to... Damn, I can't pin it. It's right here, though, guys. Just look up his name. It's one of the videos, or if you're able to copy this one, go in the chat if you want to watch the video on him. It was a very, very good watch, and especially if we sign him, it'll give you guys some inside knowledge of just what a kind young gentleman he actually is. Götze had a good season at PSV. He did, but again, with Götze, his injuries, didn't find a ton of consistency. He actually played as a right midfielder, which I thought was very interesting. Why so many of our fans hate Witsel? I thought Witsel was a bit of a fan favorite. I haven't seen a lot of Witsel hate. I think Axel Witsel was a revelation since he left China to come back into a top 5 league. That partnership with Delaney the first season was one of the main reasons we almost won the title. Obviously, he spent most of the last season out. I'm excited to watch him today. I'm hoping he starts for Belgium, get a good look at him and Meunier. But I don't know. I don't think there's a ton of hate, and I'm not sure where it would come from. It's somewhere in the chat, or just type, yeah. You should be fine. It's a 5-minute video, and the thumbnail is a picture of him. When do you see Manchester United wrapping up the Sancho transfer deal? Then do you think immediately sign Malen? Or that's a good question, man. More than likely this Thursday, Friday could be an option because the group stage is over. There'll be a little bit of a small break. I could see that happening. If not, maybe directly after the Euros. And then, yes, I think that the Malen signing will come like that. And then I don't know who the winger would be if they decide to go for a little bit more depth. Or maybe we get blindsided and they sign either one and they do go for Bailey, who would be a like-for-like type of replacement for Jadon Sancho. More likely would take Jadon Sancho's number 7. But I don't know. I do think as soon as the transfer for Sancho is done, one signing will be made immediately. And the second one will probably follow if a second one's to come. How much do you see Julian Brandt selling realistically? Probably 25 mil is what I would guess. Brandt there's still a good footballer in there. I don't think he's gonna go for crazy money. I think 25 is fair. I think that he needs to move on for his own good. He was linked to Arsenal obviously for a while. He was linked to Lazio under Maurizio Sarri. There's an option for him to move, but I don't think we're gonna be breaking the bank for him. But I do think that there's an opportunity for him to go and play, and he needs to play in a system where he'll get minutes. And right now, it's just not us. Holland will go, not this summer. Eventually, but not this summer. I love Witsel, especially his hair. I like when he put it in the cornrows, and he look good with that. All of our players play nice in the Euros, also Witsel and Thorgan. Yeah, I'm excited for the Belgium game today, guys. We will be doing a watch-along. I haven't really watched the Belgium team play too much. Had a couple things coming up during their game, so I'm very excited. I'm desperately hoping all 3 start. It would be perfect. Have Hazard. I mean, I'd love to see Hazard up at left wing, but if he plays, he'll probably play as a left wing back. Meunier will be playing right wing back, and Witsel will be in the one of the center mid positions in their 3-4-3. But it'd be a perfect game. I can't wait to watch all 3 of them. We're going to be doing a stream on Dortmund's Twitch soon to kind of talk about some of the performances of the Dortmund players. So that'll be fun. This will be a good game to look at as well. The last one that'll probably get Belgium their perfect 3-0 start. I love Witsel as well. Witsel was actually surprised because even before his move to China, the other leagues he played in was Belgium, Portugal, and Russia. Yep, he was someone on the outs. He was in Belgium, won the championship there. Went over to Benfica, and then the Russian money came in from Zenit and picked him up. And then he took, again, the money option to go to China. And then Dortmund had to convince him to come over. And I think it was a very good decision, obviously, because I think he's such a good footballer. He needed to be in a top 5 league. And also almost won us the title, but what could have been? Do you reckon Sancho will stay? I do not. I'm fairly confident that Sancho will move on, and Holland will stay. And then we will hopefully find a Malen, maybe Liam Bailey. You guys are really convincing me that Liam Bailey might be the option because, like I said, issue with some of the younger players is that they'll move on. Liam Bailey's right in his prime. It's kind of similar to Hazard when Hazard moved here. Hazard won't be taking a bigger step. If Thorgan Hazard ever moves on, it would be to a club below Dortmund. And I think that the same would go for Bailey. If Bailey came in here, this would be kind of last destination in his prime. So I like it, man. I think we should loan Brandt out for 2 seasons and come back as a Royce replacement. Honestly, man, it's probably not an option. I don't see it. I see if Brandt leaves, he's going to leave permanently. I don't think Dortmund want to do the whole loan situation. But, I mean, only time will tell, man. Only time will tell. This is a bit off topic, but do you like Matteo Guendouzi links to us? We'd be fighting against Marseille. I don't like the Guendouzi links. We have way too many CDMs already. We still have Toby who could potentially come up as well. Guendouzi's got some attitude issues. I mean, I think he is working on it. I think he is growing, but I would stay away from him, and I hope he goes to Marseille. What's your position on the pitch? You look like a guy who could do well in the center. I was a winger. I played, I don't know, when I was young, I would play as a striker because I was fast. And then when you actually kind of had like systems in play when you got a little bit older, I played as a 10 for a little bit, and then shifted out and played as a winger. Mostly played in a 4-2-3-1 on the left-hand side. It was my favorite position. I like to think I did Marco Reus some proud stuff, but then I also, for my college team, I played as a right midfielder, and we sucked, so we had a lot of backtracking, which wasn't fun. But I don't play outdoor as much anymore. I do play indoor. Some futsal, fun sport, very similar to hockey-ish in the way of it's a 5v5. And then I play as in a 2-1-2 system. I play in the middle. So yeah, I don't know. I like the ball on my foot, but I'm past my prime. I'm here with you guys now. I think Denzel Dumfries would be a good fit for Dortmund. I absolutely agree with you. Wholeheartedly agree for you. I don't think it'll happen though. Like I said, I don't think Dortmund's going to be willing to spend any type of money on a right back. Who do you think has the leadership to replace Hummels and Reus as captain? Akanji. Akanji's worn the armband. I think on several occasions. I think that Akanji, given his age, is going to be here for the long haul. Again, a player who's probably going to be in here throughout his prime. He's been in with us for a while. He's got that leadership from the back. I think that he's just a natural replacement. I think Guerrero's a little bit too quiet to wear the armband. But I think Akanji, to me, is a natural one. I mean, I'm assuming Witzel wouldn't count either, or Delaney. Those are players who also wore the armband. But I think that over the long haul, when Reus and Hummels leave, Akanji will still be here and could easily take on the armband. Is that to replace Haaland once he leaves? So no, Dortmund are going to get a little bit of money from Sociedad to get rid of the buyback clause. So he will not be returning to Dortmund probably ever. Bailey is only 23, Thorgan is 28. Yes, but I meant in terms of Liam Bailey is 23, which is a player coming up to his prime. When Thorgan came to us, I believe he was 25, 26, one of the two, which is a player dead in his prime. So I think if Liam Bailey comes here, he'll sign a 5-year deal, and there's a good chance that he would be throughout it for the entire 5 years, which would take Bailey to he was 28. Can maybe sign a couple other ones or move on from there. Thorgan Hazard, again, a player who came in his prime. And will probably leave at some point to, like I said, a club below Dortmund, because that's just kind of where he is at his career right now. 28, he can still do some stuff from us. Thorgan needs to stay healthy, though. Is there a deadline set on the transfer or the Sancho transfer? As far as I know, no. As far as I know, they haven't really set a date yet. If there was one, I believe it would be just before preseason, but I can't remember. I read an article about that topic, and I can't remember exactly how it went. It was a while ago, but basically it was non-negotiable. This was the price. This was the add-ons. Pay it or don't. Bailey's 23, though. Yes. And it's a 2-3 years different. You guys get my point, though. I meant, like, Liam Bailey isn't 19. So you sign a 5-year deal at 19, you're 24, and then move on. Liam Bailey is 23. If he came here and signed a 5-year deal, it would take him till he was 28. He'd be at Dortmund through the best careers of his life, and there's a chance that he would just stay. Off topic, but did you start supporting Dortmund, or how did you start supporting Dortmund? So my background is German. It's from my dad's side of the family. So when I played FIFA growing up, did a career mode, just went to the Bundesliga because German, Scrolled through the teams, I'm like, that logo looks sweet. Started doing career modes there. Then eventually started watching them play, and then just fell in love with them. Went to a game live, best thing I've ever done. Recommend it to any of you guys. Go to the Westfalen if you can. Started this channel. Dortmund reached out to us. We do some work with them now. So it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I love having this community to talk about the team I love for so long that I've just kept all those thoughts to myself for a very, very long time. But yes, that is how I became a fan of Dortmund. I'm from Canada. No one in my family knows anything about the sport. So had to develop those links by myself. Is Sancho leaving or not? Your thoughts? In my opinion, he is going to leave. Sancho eventually, his price tag will be met by United. He'll move on, and we will go and we will find a replacement. I'm not exactly sure who it is. Malen seems to be one of them. Could be a couple other ones in as well. But imagine if he scrolled and found Schalke. Hey, now I looked through all of them. The only other logo that caught my attention was Hanover 96, because green in color, and 96 was the year I was born in. Now, if they weren't a 2-star out of 5, I might have picked them. But yellow is one of my favorite colors as well. I love the look of Dortmund's team. They were like a 4 out of 5. I'm like, you know what? This will give me some challenge, and not make it too hard so I win. It was a match made in heaven. I don't think I would have ever picked Schalke. What is the work that you're doing for BVB? So we are the official international Twitch streamers for them. We're gonna be going on Twitch soon. We have something lined up where we're gonna talk about some of the Dortmund players that are playing in the Euros this summer. Talk about how they're doing in the off season. We're also working on a fun project with Dortmund that will be coming in a little under a month. I can't drop too many hints about it, but I'm very proud to be involved with it. And hopefully some other fun stuff that'll come up for the upcoming season. They were kind to reach out to me relatively early on in my YouTubing career here, and I'm excited to do as much work for them as I can. It's a real honor, and couldn't have done it without the support from you guys. So I appreciate that a lot, my friends. Is Bailey a real option? I haven't heard anything of linking us to him. So I've read a few rumors off and on. Bailey's been one of those players who's constantly just kind of been linked to us, similar to the way that Malen's kind of been linked to us. I did read an article this morning that says Dortmund are looking to address some of the potential targets for a Sancho replacement. Liam Bailey is a target, so I mean, I didn't do a lot of digging into where the source came from and whether it was completely legitimate, but it's not the first one I've ever seen, so I feel like it's safe enough to say that at least Liam Bailey is potentially on the radar of Dortmund, so we'll have to see if that one goes out. I think that he would be a real like-for-like type of replacement. He's absolutely rapid. It brings something differently that Sancho doesn't quite have. Obviously, like I said, man, he's got an extra little trait. He's an excellent finisher. He's good at free kicks. He's good cutting onto that left and hitting it from distance. He would be very interesting. Who would you take, Diaby or Bailey? For the reasons I was just talking about, I would take Bailey. I think Diaby and Bailey are both lightning fast. You'd probably give the pace to Diaby, just by a little bit. But when it comes to finishing, Bailey's much better when it comes to long shots, set pieces, more of an overall complete package, in my opinion, Bailey is. So I would take him over Diaby. Both are good looks, though. I think Malen's a better player, but again, Malen isn't a natural winger. But I do think that Malen is going to bring, if he comes to Dortmund, I think he's going to bring something special to this squad. But I would go Malen first, and then honestly, I'd probably, if I'm going for a winger and we can afford it, I would probably look at Liam Bailey just because it is more of a like-for-like replacement for Sancho. And the reason I say that is because there's been reports that no matter what happens to Sancho, Malen was a target regardless. So if we sell Sancho, there's a chance that we would sign a winger and Malen. I think Malen's a long-term option going forward, looking at the potential looks for a striker down the line if Holland does move on. And he also gives the option to Marco Rose to play in the 4-1-2-1-2. Diamond variation, 2 strikers. It's going to be very interesting. But those are probably going to be my couple looks. Liam Bailey and Malen would be the 2 I'd like to see come in, especially if Sancho moves on. And then a center back. And then other than that, we've already signed Kobel, and that's probably the majority of the work that we need to do in the transfer window. Maybe looking to shift on Brandt, but it does look like he'll be giving a shot. But for that reason, that is who I would take. But yeah, guys, all right. I think we're going to wrap that up for today, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me for another nice little transfer talk episode. Always fun. There is a contest going on, though, by the way, guys. So if you haven't gone to our Twitter yet, go to TV_JJD. Look at my pinned tweet. It's a chance to win a replica Westfalen. It's unreal. We partnered up with Stadium for Ants. We're giving away a one-of-a-kind piece. Very cool contest. So if I were you guys, all you got to do is retweet and like the tweet to enter the contest. Follow us as well. Very easy. So if you have Twitter, right there on the screen, right there, go follow me and then enter the contest because we're going to be doing it very soon and you can win something that no one else has. So, very, very cool. Appreciate Stadium for Ants partnering up with me for this. A huge giveaway. Like to see you guys get into it as much as you can. So go and do that, my friends. Thank you guys for tuning in for this transfer episode. We'll be live later today for the watch-along between Finland and Belgium. Hopefully see all 3 Dortmund players start. That would be the goal. And hopefully I'll be seeing a lot of you guys there. So take care, my friends. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon.